Hello, this is John from Unlimited Vertical. I've added a GPS to one of my race quads, and I just thought I'd walk you through my first experience with it. This is not a how-to video. This is not a tutorial. This is just what my experience was. So a couple pictures of the GPS on the quad. We'll go into some Betaflight settings I have. The initial altitude, 50 meters, is important there. And the minimum satellite's 8 is also an important setting that's showing up there. The rest of them, actually descent distance of 75 meters as well is important. And those are the same values shown in the command line interface. So those distances of 50 and 75 meters are important. I've watched a couple of videos on exactly how they work, and it's a little wonky, and you'll see in the flight kind of how it pans out. So okay, here I'm starting up. I've already acquired 12 satellites. It took about 3 minutes for that to happen. And so shortly I'll take off and I'll head out over one of the farmers' fields. So what I take it from other videos is that the 50 plus the 75, that's the distance away that I have to be before I can enable the rescue mode. So you can see up in the top middle, that's my distance from home and my return to home arrow. So you can see I'm heading straight out and about 100 meters at this point, still have 12 satellites. So 150, 200 meters, I think sometime around now I'll flip the switch for return to home. So when I flip it, it's going to rise up to 50 meters. And I was really surprised at how high 50 meters is. When you take a look at this, you can see a quarry off to the left, the little body of water there. Like, so that's basically what 150 feet looks like. So now it's starting to come back into home and starting its descent. And when you see its descent, it almost looks like it's going to hit before the baseball diamond. So I click off rescue mode and take over the quad at this point and come back in. So you see I have 10 satellites now, so I've lost 2. And I'm going to do a little acro to see what happens to the number of satellites I have. And do a power loop, and I'm down to 8, down to 7. So I have a min satellite set to 8. So at 7, GPS rescue is no longer going to work. And you see I dipped down as low as 4 there with it flashing, but it comes back to 8 or above fairly quickly. So if you're relying on GPS rescue to save you in the middle of acro maneuvers, chances are pretty good that you're going to have some issues. But I also wanted to see whether there'd be any other issues. So after I do some acro here, I'll head out across the field again. Keep an eye on my battery at the top left at under 14 volts there for a second. It was a cold morning this morning, about 1 degree Celsius. This is an old battery. It's 2 or 3 years old, so probably not the best battery to use to test this out. You see I'm getting a land now already in the flight. But bear in mind that it's been 6 minutes since I armed, and I'm probably 2 minutes into the flight here, 2.5 minutes, and doing a little bit of acro and once back and forth across the field. So, I mean, it's not horrible flight time. Maybe I just lost track of time a little bit. So one more quick sloppy loop, and I'm going to head back out again. Probably not the best decision I've ever made since my battery's sitting at 14 volts. But I wanted to do a second test, go a little further, slightly different direction. I look at my return to home arrow and it looks like it's pointing right back at home, so everything should be good. And once I get out here just past 300 meters, I will enable GPS rescue and you watch the quad swing around. And it's swung around initially right back toward home, but now it's drifting off to the left a little as it climbs. That's probably not an issue. I can still see my home over to the right, but then I take over the quad, mainly because my battery was low and I wanted to get home as quickly as possible. I didn't want to lose it here across. It's 2 different farmers' fields there. So maybe another test is in order, but I think it's working properly. So this is me flying it back in. This isn't GPS rescue mode at this point. So that's pretty much it for my test. It seemed to reacquire the satellites pretty quickly after doing some macro. Just know that you're not going to have the mode save you during that. And I land, and now I'll let you watch the video from the GoPro's perspective, and I will turn off my annoying voice.
Beyond all fear, the clouds are passing by, my darling. Your eyes are breathing out, seeing them in the light. I consciously died. A saint do on a road. I seen a double rainbow. I got a complicated soul. To me, this city's hell, but I know you call it home. That was made for the green, made to be alone. The clouds are passing by, my darling. Your eyes are breathing out, I've seen them in the light. And I couldn't let it go, no matter how hard I was trying. The clouds are passing by. I've been called heartbreaker for doing justice to my own.